sideline.
Well, you know who Zach. I mean, you know who BA should have called. He should have called Zach Lavine because whatever he going through in Chicago is definitely going under the radar. I don't even think no one's really paying too much attention to it unless you're a Bulls fan, and that's probably why DeMar DeRozan said, "You know what? I'm out of here. I ain't got too much to talk about. It's too much deep dish drama going on in Chicago, man. The Windy City is just blowing by with nothing but drama." Outside of the Chicago Sky doing their thing, and then in the beginning of their season, there was a lot of drama just with the Angel Reese situation. But we glad the weatherman found a way to make it 95 degrees, and it ain't 7 p.m. Friday. It's been reported for 7 months. I mean, several months. My bad. I said 7 months for several months in Chicago because outside of the IG chats that we have, I have heard nothing else about Zach Lavine. But the Bulls are attempting to trade Zach Lavine, but it seems like their price is too high. But then it also comes out that Zach Lavine has the issue with the head coach. Do you think this is why Zach Lavine hasn't been traded? Or because he hasn't been traded, can this lead to locker room issues in Chicago? And because Davey Schefter was like, hey, somebody needs to let it be known, tell him why Zach Lavine need to get cut. I mean, I'm joking.
Cut.
I'm playing.
Shoot, if his contract was $30 million, I would say, hey, Miami, Pat Riley, yeah, go ahead, get Tyler Hero up out of here.
Like, wake up,
wake up. Go ahead. And he's beat. So, all right, let me enough with the jokes. So, when it comes to Zach Lavine, so he's due $43.1 million next season. Which is pretty steep for somebody who's coming off an injury-riddled year. I believe the last 2 years he's been injured, pretty much. So the Bulls are doing their best to trade him, but the league sees that they are desperate to trade him. So a lot of teams are just like, nah, we good. The reason why I wanted to talk about this because I didn't see anyone else really talking about it anywhere. Seems like it kind of sort of just went missing. It kind of just went under the radar with all these signings. You know, DeMar DeRozan going to Sacramento, Paul George going to PG, Kyle Lowry going back to PG. So, going back to Philly, of course. Then
I was like, they going to the mall.
So I meant PG going to Philly and Kyle Lowry going to Philly. And all these other signings, you know, Miami getting Alec Burks. Wow. Tobias Harris going to Detroit. KCP going to Orlando. So we see all these names signing somewhere. But the one guy who is known to be a prolific scorer, an athletic guy, he's a two-time dunk champion. And we know exactly how great he is. We know what he's capable of. We've seen his matchups with Aaron Gordon in a dunk contest. It's just they don't think he's worth it. They believe that he's going to become. For me, this is my opinion. I believe they think that he is going to be a locker room issue because of the situation that's going on in Chicago. Him and Billy Donovan are not getting along. Zach Lavine didn't like the fact that it was kind of sort of like how DeMar DeRozan left. He didn't like the fact that DeMar DeRozan was gone and that Alex Caruso was gone. So he was upset about that. And plus him and Billy Donovan never got along the entire time they were there. I'm guessing he doesn't like the philosophy of how Billy Donovan runs the team. And people see him as an injury risk because he's been hurt. And they feel, and I also believe that they think that he's either going to play when he wants to play or not at all. But for me, I really think the biggest thing is his contract. I think his contract is the reason why a lot of people aren't really going after him. I think it's more so his contract than his injury, because he's due $43.1 million. Not a lot of people want to pay somebody that just came out for an injury-riddled season. So that's the thing. And the thing is, the Bulls are so desperate that they're offering a first-round pick along with Zach Lavine to try to trade him, but no one is answering right now. So. Yeah, for me, I just think it's more so his contract than his injury, but I think those two have a huge factor into why he's still in Chicago. And I believe if he stays there, it is going to cause locker room issues because him and Billy Donovan don't get along.
Man, I think if the Wizards didn't have Jordan Poole, they probably would have jumped out there and made this trade. It's one of those situations where I feel like the locker room issues are stemming from the head coach, but it's also stemming from him not being in a great work environment. He's just like, look, for everyone that's watching, if you worked a dead end job and you're just like, you know what, this is going nowhere fast. I don't like my manager. They always micromanaging, and it's just like, you know what, I'm sick. So you just start calling in sick. And in this case, some of those injuries, he could come back from it. He's just like, why would I do that? I don't want to be here. And also, they want to trade me, but I know for a fact that me not wanting to be here and this getting out in the media is going to drive the trade market down for me. So they're going to have to do something where I get the perks of getting traded, but they don't get the benefits of getting picks back. So, hey, if you trade me for 3 second-round picks, okay, watch me go to Phoenix and probably make the playoffs. So if you trade me for 6 second-round picks, that's a lot of second-round picks for Zach Lavine. Let me stem that back down. You trade me straight up the Alex Caruso trade with OKC. You trade Josh Giddey straight up for Alex Caruso, and it's just like, well, what do I need to actually look forward to? And outside of I think with Billy Donovan, he is a good college coach, but again, I don't see how that fractured the situation between him and Zach Lavine. But again, I agree 100% with you, Dave, that if he does come back into the offseason, into training camp with this type of chip on his shoulder, it's going to ruin that locker room because they're trying to build something, and these young players are going to see it. So it is going to hurt. So Chicago needs to just do something instead of just trying to let this linger around.
All right, so me, I actually, I know a lot of information about the situation because our name circled around Zach Lavine a lot since last year. So I've been looking into it. So this is why he's not traded. There's multiple reasons. Number one, I know you mentioned he's getting paid $43 million next year. The problem is not really that. The problem is he's locked up for the next 3 years. He's getting paid $43 million, then he's getting paid 46, then he's getting paid 48. So anybody who's going to trade for, first of all, he's not, based on who he is, in my opinion, I don't think teams believe he's worth that contract. Like, he's a 6'5" guard. A 6'5" guard, shooting guard small for a 6'5", who's undersized. He never made an all-star. He's not a good defender. He's just a scorer, basically. He's a scorer. You know what I mean? So I don't think teams think that's worth it, that contract. DeRozan, we paying DeRozan like $30 million a year. Zach Lavine getting paid 15 more than that. That's crazy. So that's number one. And first of all, Tom, I forgot to mention this. Deep dish drama. That was funny, bro. I don't think people caught that. You know what I mean? Some drama going on. Were they the first one? There's a lot of drama in Chicago right now. But anyways, DeRozan, I don't know if y'all know this. There is some friction between him and Billy Donovan. You're right there. There's some friction between Billy Donovan and Zach Lavine. DeRozan was that person. The word they use is he was that buffer. He was that person that would make sure they were straight. Now he's gone. So the locker room was worried about that. They're like, oh snap, DeRozan not here no more. There's gonna be some issues. You know what I mean? So that's a big problem. So I don't think nobody's gonna trade him because it's not that nobody's don't want to trade for him because Chicago is desperate. It's because of these things. They don't think the value is worth it. You know what I mean? Utah, if he only had one more year, Utah will get that man in a heartbeat because that contract's gonna fall off next year. It's so bad that Chicago's like, yeah, we will attach a first-round pick with Zach Lavine to take him off our hands. And everybody like, nah, bro, it ain't worth it. So I don't know. He's going to be a Chicago Bull next year. That's all I can see. He's going to be a Chicago Bull next year.
I don't know. His agent is Rich Paul. Rich Paul known for getting some disgruntled players out of places. Look at AD.
And that's why, but AD got high value. That's why they were trying to get him with us because Fox is also a Clutch client, and they trying to get him. We like, nah, bro, we good. Shout out to my bro J-Mo. He suggested we should get Zach Lavine. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't like that. And then we went and got DeRozan, but I'm cool with DeRozan though.
For your team, yeah. Go ahead.
I definitely think that some team is going to get desperate and try to trade for him though. Especially a team that looks like they need one extra move just to move the needle a little bit. I think somebody's gonna make some trades somehow, some way.
The only team I can see desperate like that, Lakers.
So
The net who?
the Nets trying to get rid
No,
of
the
Ben
Nets
Simmons.
rebuilding. He would mess them up. He
I'm
under
saying if you're
contract
trying to
for
get
3 years.
if you're trying to get rid of that Ben Simmons contract, I can see it. Or is Ben Simmons this is last year?
Why Chicago go get Ben Simmons?
Hey.
I mean,
I'm
if you look at
Brooklyn, they ain't got nothing to do with
if you look at the moves they made, that would make sense, honestly. Because
Him
Chicago,
and Josh get it together?
it ain't like Ben Simmons. It ain't like Ben Simmons gonna play.
Yeah, Jay, that's what I'm saying. The Lakers gonna get desperate, but the Lakers ain't got the bread probably. That's their issue right now.
And I heard his contract got a 15% trade kicker.
Yeah,
That's another
Tomo,
reason why.
Tomo. The Nets ain't gonna do that though. The Nets would not trade for him because Ben Simmons is going into his last year of his contract this year.
Oh, see, that's why. Okay,
They like this dude about to be out.
Yeah, that's the only reason. If he would have had it 3 years, I think they would have did it. And like, all right, let's get somebody that's at least gonna play.
I do see this is gonna be weird, y'all. It's gonna be left field though. A team getting desperate because of the type of caliber of player they got on their team, and they don't want to fall behind if things don't go right. Denver. I know it sounds weird because Zach Lavine's another scorer.
What can go wrong though?
Huh? With the Denver Nuggets?
Yeah. Why you say that? Like you say, if
I
things
don't
don't
know.
go
I
right.
said if things go wrong. I said if things go wrong and they feel like they falling behind, like they fall behind with the they feel like they can't beat the Timberwolves 7-game series. They feel like they can't beat the Mavericks like that. Then they might make another move, get another score. But the Lakers are the only team I see for real that can be desperate. That's going to be desperate. We all know they're going to get desperate at one point.
Mm. I know another team that'll be desperate. They just broke.
Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all never desperate. Well, y'all patient. Y'all patient like a mud. Y'all be holding out on y'all moves.
Man, do we? Oh my goodness.
Oh, I like what you did there, Joe. You calling it being patient. Okay, then the Cowboys being patient too. I'm gonna use that. I guess they were being lazy. That's what it is. They ain't patient.
Y'all taking advantage of the media. Like Jerry Burke got a graph. He probably got a graph in his house. He knows exactly how long it's gonna take for this to die down. You know what? The peak point of this media attention for Dak not getting signed is August 16th. And we'll sign him on the 17th to bring back the drama. He probably got a whole graph on how to manage the media.
Hey, I'm
so
glad
y'all want to sign our people, bro. He just want to be in the news right now.
Hey, J-Mo trolling. J-Mo is trolling. Oh my goodness.
Go ahead.
Say Lavine was undrafted.
Hey, bro. Hey,
emotional damage.
Nah, for real. That's like Perry probably got an ego problem.
Yo,
look at these guys I got.
That's Pat Riley, man.
You probably got an ego problem.
Remind me of another person. I'm just saying.
Pat Riley.
JJ be doing the same thing. I don't need no big name stars. I'm gonna go through the draft. I'm just that's just how it be.
That's definitely Pat Riley, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
He got some Jerry, you know.
They might be brothers, man.
He do, man. Hey.
They was a part of franchises. It's just so much that
he got a little. I hate that I'm about to say this, but he got a little Jerry Jones and a little Howie in him. Because people don't like working with Howie. And Jerry Jones is very lazy when it comes to his money.
I'm about to say because he definitely didn't like Howie.
Nah, I'm talking about him. Just people don't like to work with him. That's all.
Yeah, I can see Pat. I can definitely see Pat Riley like trying to hem Howie up. Like, hey man, what you talking about? You talking about 6 picks, man?
Pat Riley ain't going for that.
Nah, probably he like a mafia leader. That's what he looking like. The slick back jump.
They called him Godfather for a reason.
And he in my let's not. I ain't got time for that.
Ain't time to put it together.
Yeah, nah. See, we gotta talk about something that's a little bit less. Nah. It's just